Desert, Tucson, Arizona, and we're getting ready to watch one of the hottest teams in America. The 11th ranked Arizona Wildcats are hosting the Utes from Utah. Arizona in the Pac-12. They've won 5 games in a row, 14 of their last 15, and they sit top of the table in the Pac-12 Conference. Hi everybody, I'm Gus Johnson along with former Connecticut standout Donnie Marshall, and welcome to Tucson. I tell you what, not only do we get an opportunity to see one of the best teams in the nation, but maybe the best player in all of America.
Absolutely, all eyes on DeAndre Ayton. Does so much for this Arizona team. Great feet, great touch, an infectious personality. He makes this team go. He is a talent. Gus could be the #1 pick in the draft.
All right, let's check in with the third member of our team on the sideline today, the All-American girl, Jenny Tabb.
Well, guys, Riley Elkins is out tonight for Arizona. He's dealing with soreness in his right foot. And remember, that's the same foot he had surgery on back in September to repair a Jones fracture. He went through a pretty good workout this morning after shoot-around. He told me the good news, the soreness is not getting worse. This is 100% a precaution to make sure I am good to go, no doubt, come March. Gus?
All right, thank you very much. Jenny, let's take a look at the starting lineups.
Gus starts with Justin Bibbins for the Utes. 18 points a game over the last 10. And on the bottom, Alonzo Trier, my young fella from the 206 Seattle. He makes this team go for Arizona.
All right, the officials for this afternoon's game here in Tucson. Dick Cartmel, Bob Stafford, and Scott Brown. A series that dates back to 1953. Arizona leads at 32-29. The Wildcats have won 2 in a row, 11 of the last 12 as Pac-12 rivals. And the tip controlled by the Utes.
Important for Utah to punch first. Colorado did it early in their game against Arizona on Thursday.
First shot of the game, and that one off the heel of the rim for Tyler Rawson.
Arizona would love to get DeAndre Ayton involved early. Size advantage down low.
Here he is. Ayton draws a double team. Somehow shuffled it inside. A whistle. And it looks like this is going to be a bucket.
You can't block a shot with your hand through the bottom of the rim, Gus.
Ristich will be credited with the basket.
Take a look. You got to come on the other side of the rim, not through the bottom of it.
So for Utah in their last game, they beat Arizona State 80-77 in overtime on Thursday in Tempe. Van Dyke inside at point-blank range. Collette unable to finish.
Rushed it a little bit. You feel a couple 7-footers breathing down your neck. It'll make you speed up.
Big fella knocking down the sweet jump shot on the baseline.
The rotation is so tight. If you want to find out if someone knows how to shoot, just watch the flight of the basketball and watch those threads, how they go end over end. Tight for Ayton.
Ayton coming off a 20-point game against Colorado on Thursday. Utah moving it around. They go inside. These guys are big. The dribble, the kick, Collette, and Ayton goes up high for the board.
Arizona making Utah do exactly what they want. Long jump shots, rushing shots, in control defensively.
Arizona going inside, and the big man back-to-back baskets. Dusan Ristich, he's Serbian, and Arizona takes a 6-0 lead.
Right now for Arizona, it's all about the bigs. Their 2 bigs have scored all their points. That's exactly how you want to start a game if you're Sean Miller.
Bibbins had a 15-point game against Arizona State. Collette on Ristich, off the glass, and the Utes are finally on the board.
Yeah, much better move, patience, timing, and sometimes it takes you a little bit. And Utah knows they're 11-1. in this building over their last 12, so jitters early maybe for the Utes.
Here's Trier. Runs a pick and roll with Ayton. Ayton calling for it, and he's got Collette on his back. Let's see if they tried to feed the big man. And an offensive foul will be called. against Ristich. And our Geico players to watch.
Yeah, there it is. David Collette, he understands. He's a veteran. He pays attention. He could be a handful for DeAndre Ayton, but he has to make Ayton work. And then on the other side, the numbers speak for themselves. Just so talented. What we talked about earlier today, Gus, he has the gift, and not very many players in college basketball have the gift. He has it.
Wheeler. Van Dyke with some space, wraps it around deep in the corner. Wheeler can't get it to fall. Ayton going up high, kicks it out quickly. Jackson Cartwright, Trier rises. Boom.
Just so good, so patient. Alonzo Trier, the junior. A lot of talk about if he's going to leave school this year, and is he ready? Worked out with Jason Terry over the summer. Some good exposure, experience from one of the elder statesmen, also from Seattle, Washington.
Collette drops up on the baseline, and a nice play.
Steady diet, Gus. Throw that ball down inside. That's the only way you are going to be able to force the bigs of Arizona to get them gassed a little bit. You got to wear them down somehow, and that's how you do it.
Collette with 4 already. 8 double team. Here's Trier. Backs it up. Wants to shake. 8 and a 3. Bam.
Man,
and we just looked at each other, folks. This kid's 7 feet tall. Hitting 20-foot jump shots. They say he could be the #1 player taken in the NBA draft.
He leaves you speechless, Gus. Boy.
Trier. Arizona 5 for 5. Trier. Ristich looking. One hand throw goes down. The Wildcats running wild against the Utes. 6 for 6 to start the game. McHale Center. Electric.
Ayton, he's special. We talked about it, Gus. Look at the rotation of the ball. They are rolling here in Tucson. Arizona up big early.
Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Progressive, your first-round pick for car insurance. Gus Johnson, Donnie Marshall with you. 14-4, Arizona. 6 for 6 to start this game. DeAndre Ayton off to a great start.
Gus, look at the rotation on that ball. Look how tight it is. No rim, no rim. I mean, sometimes, he just makes it look so easy. And starting off the right way. Think about this. Arizona, 6 made field goals, 6 for 6. 5 of those have been assisted. I mean, they love playing together, and they understand when they're rolling, you got to continue to go to them.
And they shot 70% in the second half in their last game, now starting 6 for 6. Arizona beat Colorado in their last game 80-71 here Thursday. Trier scored 20, and DeAndre Ayton had 20, including 12 for 12 from the free throw line.
And I was at that game. That was what was most special. He was 4 for 10 from the field, but he still affected the game, getting to the foul line 12 times and making them all.
So Utah's got some work to do. And a whistle and foul coming up as Donnie Tillman gets to the basket, draws contact. Acott called for his first.
I like Tillman for a couple of reasons. One, because of what you see, the hometown there, Detroit, Michigan. I know, Gus, you approve. And also, he's got such a great upside at shoot-around today. Larry Kraskowiak must have said his name 20 times. And I was always taught if the coach is not saying your name, you should be worried. So he's got a lot of promise. They're going to say your name a lot, but I like the play out of the timeout. Force Arizona to play some defense in the post.
Inside, and a whistle and foul as Aikman will go to the free throw line. So Larry Kraskowiak 53 years old in his 7th season at Utah. And I tell you what, he has done a terrific job. He was a former NBA player for 9 seasons, an NBA head coach with the Milwaukee Bucks. Montana native, Montana head coach at Utah. He's won a lot of games, and we watched him coach this morning, and he really gets into it with his guys.
Yeah, I spoke to him after shoot-around, Gus, and we didn't talk about basketball. Well, we did. We talked about our kids and where they're going to college. We talked about our diets. We talked about working out.
You know what? I was watching him in the middle of the court when the guys were shooting around. He was doing push-ups.
Yesterday at practice here, he rode the stationary bike and bumped out plays to the players as he was on the stationary bike. Just such a well-rounded coach.
Backdoor cut, and that one goes down for Cedric Bearfield. Bearfield coming off a 17-point game on Thursday against Arizona State. Hit the game-tying 3 with 1.8 seconds remaining in regulation. He didn't hear Coach Cristoia call a timeout. Thank goodness he didn't. Meanwhile, the jump hook on the baseline. No good for Keanu Pender. First miss of the game.
Very important to get some easy buckets for Utah. Get your feet underneath you, but also, Gus, it helps you get set up in your zone, which is what Arizona struggled so much against.
Tyler Rawson with the bucket. Utah settling down a bit.
Yeah, they're getting exactly what they want. Their looks, you got some jitters, but hey, play your game. Move the basketball. So important to share the ball on the road.
Brandon Randolph comes off the bench. The young man from Yonkers, New York, hits his first shot of the game, and Arizona goes up by 8.
And great opportunity when you know Riley Alkins is on the bench, out of the game, dealing with a foot injury. Great time for other guys to step in and show what they got. Sean Miller's going to need these guys late season.
Bearfield with that quick hesitation dribble and gets to the basket and draws the foul. Big Sean Miller, 49 years old, but it feels like we've known him our entire lives, dating back to the time he was a little boy putting on halftime shows.
On the Johnny Carson show.
That's right. Bearfield.
I always like to see Sean Miller because I remember my freshman year at the University of Connecticut. We went to Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. Sean Miller was a senior, and they were holding up signs that said Miller time. I had no idea what these signs were for. I didn't think you could drink at a college game. And my teammates said, no, they're talking about this guy. I'm like, that little twerp. He torched us, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
That was my introduction into the Big East. Sean Miller, point guard for Pitt. It was Miller time.
Played with Jerome Lane, Demetrius Gore at Pitt. Another jump shot is pure for Brandon Randolph. 5 points quickly off the bench.
Look, coaches put you in a position to succeed. Randolph is doing that right now. 5 points, stepping in nicely. A lot of minutes, a lot of points out there. Riley Alkins leaves for other guys to go get.
And that's his season average. Utah working in the paint. Not a lot of room right there for Jace Johnson. Arizona 7 for 8 to start this game. Skip pass. Off the mark for Jackson Cartwright. And a foul coming up against the Wildcats. That's Pender, and it's his second.
Jackson Cartwright's so important for these guys. Really struggled the last 3 or 4 games with his three-point shot, and sometimes it's not so much technique. It becomes between the ears, an issue that you got to talk yourself into saying, I'm okay. Hit a big shot late, a three-pointer late against Colorado, really helped stretch them out and win that game. But he's a huge part of their success, Gus. He's got to step in and be a distributor and make shots when they leave him open.
He had a season-high 19 points in the first meeting between these two teams. Bearfield to the basket. Jackson Cartwright with the rebound. Look at him. Quickly into the front court to the bucket. Ayotte, no. Ball snatched down by Johnson. Bearfield on the move. Tillman to the hole. Lefty flip, no. And Sean Miller with some words for the officials. But the Arizona Wildcats are playing like they're the #1 team in the Pac-12. But Utah is not afraid. Back after this. And tomorrow we've got a huge doubleheader on Fox. First, #1 Villanova battles Marquette. Then third-ranked Purdue takes on Indiana. It all starts at 12:30 Eastern on Fox, or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Some feel that Purdue is the team that could win it all.
Yeah, look at that. Tar Heels upset by NC State at home, Gus. Blue Devils lost at home, even with Bagley giving you 30 and 14, almost half his team's points. And then Oklahoma up, down, Gus. Trae Young trying to carry him as a freshman.
First time that North Carolina and Duke lost at home on the same day since 1973.
Yeah, before you were born, right?
Oh, man, I wish. I wish. I'm a 67 baby. So here come the Wildcats. 21-12. And they fumble it and throw it out of bounds. Second turnover for Arizona.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to do when you come in, if you're Ira Lee, the first play you make is a turnover. That's just not a good sign, especially out of a timeout. You got to be focused. You step on the floor, be sharp. That is the one time you need to be sharp. Out of a timeout, first time on the floor.
Justin Bivens, they need him to get going offensively. He's a Lilliputian at 5'8", but can really score the basketball and run a team. Tillman calling for it inside. Johnson, 8 to shoot. Bearfield, creating, dishing. Johnson, and he traveled.
Now you talked about Bearfield, his ability to score. You're just above the circle, under the basket. You got to shoot the ball. You got to throw a little floater up there. You cannot make a 2-foot bounce pass to your big. You got him in a bad situation. Score that ball.
Jackson Cartwright guarded by Bearfield. Inside, they go to Ayton. Good position. Extra pass. Jackson Cartwright. Pure.
And that's what he has to be. He has to get that out of his hand. He's a terrific player, good shooter.
So we've seen the big fella rebound. We've seen him knock down mid-range shots, knock down long-range shots. Now we're watching him with great eyes, finding his teammates. Bivens on the hop, tried to deal it. Active hands, no call. Ristich with the board. Jackson Cartwright on the move. Cross down, midtown traffic. Picked it up. And Trier slowed it down. 16-foot fade. And the rebound to Utah.
I love when Trier puts him in the cooker, but I'd like to see him going towards the basket a little bit, falling away. Really try to force the issue. It's still early enough. Get the stripes, the officials involved. You have to take command of the game. You can't do it falling away.
And a whistle on the baseline. Justin Bivens got his man in the air.
This is how special he is. Just take a look right here. Roll and freeze it there. Look at the big down low. He understands who he is as we roll it. He seals you and then finds the guy wide open in the corner. That's great vision. It's poise. It's patience. And it's the knowledge that you know guys are coming to help on you. That's just how good you are. But the unselfishness of Ayton is something I think that needs to be talked about a little bit more.
So Justin Bivens at the line, senior from Carson, California. Collette comes in. Bivens 15 points on 5 of 13 shooting on Thursday. In that road win against Arizona State, he had 6 dimes, 2 steals in 38 minutes. Second one out of bounds, and Utah get it again.
You know, if Ayton is not blocking shots, even more importantly, he's changing shots. And right now, the Utes are thinking about that a little bit too much. Got to go up strong. Attack the big.
Tillman creates space, works the baseline hard, a blocking foul call. Utah remaining aggressive, although they're down 24-13.
Yeah, and I think he may have had a little bit of an angle here. He did lower the shoulder, But you got to get squared up if you're trying to take a charge. I agree with that call. You can't take a charge with your body side or hip to hip, if you will. You got to square the guy up, beat him to the spot, take it in the chest.
Baseline, Barefield, pure. I like this kid's confidence.
So do I.
And I like his motor.
I like that he stared at Alonzo Trier after he made the basket, running back down.
24-16. Jackson Cartwright.
Like what Utah's done, 3-2 zone.
Ristage.
2-3 zone now.
Draws a double. Skips it. Trier, 5 to shoot. Got to hurry up. Pump fake. Leaves it. Ayton. And Collette comes out with it. And a foul.
Yeah, take a look at this, Gus. Just watch the eyes. Great rotation. Look at the eyes right here. Watch Barefield. Awesome. Trier was running the other way, so he didn't get a chance to see it. But you got to be careful when you're on the road. You make a shot. You know, it's just not the same. If you got 30, I get it. But when you make 1 or 2, you got to be careful because now you get the crowd. They're razzing you a little bit. And Alonzo Trier's not a guy I think I'd want to upset here in this building. Listen, they've only lost 2 games here in the last 5 years, Gus. And that is not just from luck. It's because they know how to get it done and their fans are involved.
17 foul called against Arizona, so Collette shooting 1-1 gets the front end. As Justin Bibbins heads to the bench. Van Dyke returns. Collette, 6-0 run now for the Utes. Have they weathered the storm as they get back into a zone?
Well, listen, they've slowed the game down by getting fouled, going to the foul line, and making baskets. Now Arizona's taking the ball out of the net. Now they can get set up in a zone.
Jackson Cartwright decked going to the basket by Collette, and he will go to the line and shoot free throws.
Yeah, I like his speed. I like his length. And what happens is you make a couple of shots from the outside. Now the defense has to respect you, give a little shot fake, get yourself to the basket. Now you get fouled. And Arizona now needs an opportunity to have Utah taking that ball out of the net so they can get set up defensively and get themselves going.
So Parker, Jackson Cartwright listed at 5'11", but he's a long 5'11" with a gangly build, but a great burst.
Sounds like you're describing yourself a little bit. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we are about to say Mike. But he's much better than me.
Long arms. Confidence.
Gotta have it playing with the big guys. Rawson. Ayton with the board. Trier uses the screen. Looking inside, fadeaway 3. Ring it up.
Put you in that cooker. He's got the pity pat, the handle, get you rocking one way, steps back. Great balance, too, as he elevates on that jump shot.
And there have been some great players that have come out of Seattle. I'm sitting next to one of them as Utah throws it away. Donnie Marshall, Jamal Crawford, Nate Robinson, Brandon Roy. Is this kid Trier has a chance?
I think the interesting thing is I came out to practice the other day and Alonzo said, you and my mom went to high school together. I'm like, boy, you trying to tell me I'm old? He's like, no, I'm just saying, my mom knows you.
You are old.
I am old.
To these kids.
Don't remind me.
Arizona throws the basketball away, their 3rd turnover. Barefield, strip. Jackson Cartwright, numbers. Jackson Cartwright to the cup. Little big man doing them. He's got 7. He's got feline quickness. 7-0 run. Wildcats, and they're on their feet in the desert. One of the great places to watch college basketball in America. Rawson stops the bleeding and quiets everybody down.
Gotta be cool with that, though. Listen, you're still playing from behind. You're down 10. Run your stuff. You don't need to worry about telling people to be quiet. You're on the road. Be smart.
Fairfield inside. Collette, easy does it. Arizona sleepwalking on defense. They don't get back, and the Utes make them pay. 8 points for Collette, who's off to a great start.
Jackson Cartwright says, you know what, I'm going to take it myself. My team needs me. And David Collette quietly beating everybody down the floor while Arizona's in their home run trot. We got a game, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Our score 31-23. Arizona leads Utah here in Pac-12 play. Now tonight, Charlotte, North Carolina will fear the left hand of Derek Brunson as he looks for redemption in the long-awaited rematch with Jacare Souza. The battle begins tonight at 8 Eastern on Fox. 31-23. Largest lead of the game has been 13 points for the Wildcats.
Let me unpack a couple things here for you. The Utah Utes, 4 of their last 5 games, they have 2 fast break points. Those 2 points are in here today. They're going to have to do a better job of getting out in transition. You don't want to play breakneck speed in this building against this team, but you got to get some easy buckets, and the way you do that again is with this zone.
Arizona turns it over for the 5th time. Ayton just took his eyes off the basketball.
Just a lack of focus, just for a split second. That's all it takes to turn the ball over.
Back door, Fairfield. Right now, Coach Krystowiak's team on a 7-0 run. And they're running a basic clinic on offense.
And they're not doing a bad job defensively either. When they make a basket, it gives them time to get back and set up their zone.
Ristic. 12 to shoot. Trier tries to turn the corner. Great hedge by the Utah defense. Jackson Cartwright pushes off offensive foul, so another turnover for Arizona.
A lot of issues. I think they start on the defensive end. Take a look right here. Freeze it, please. This is the cut. The defensive player overplays, and now you got the backdoor cut. And no one's back there helping. Ristic has to stay in. There's no reason for him to be outside the paint on the other side.
Heck of a pass by Rawson.
Ball's on the strong side. Your big has to be in the middle of the paint, ready to help.
Fairfield, the floater inside, and just like that, Utah has clawed their way back into this game. Fairfield with 11 points. Utes on a 9-0 run. Arizona's got some trouble now. And they look confused on both ends of the floor. Trier. 9 to shoot. Ristic spins. Off the heel. Loose. Picked up. Justin Bibbins. They can get closer. Bibbins. Hard move to the bucket. Rejected by Randolph. Picked up. Here's Trier. Arizona. Cartwright. Jackson Cartwright. And hits. 10 points for Jackson Cartwright.
That, to me, is Arizona basketball. Starting at the defensive end, your guard gets a block, you run down, got numbers, find the open man, knock it down.
Fairfield on the handoff from Collette. Backs it up with 12 to shoot. These Utah guards can really handle the rock. Collette inside, turn around Jay, and he knocks it down.
Man, you got seniors. Your coach was a big man in the NBA. You could tell David Collette's been paying attention in practice. And listening to his coach how to back a guy down and go over that left shoulder with a jump hook.
10 points for Collette. 34-29. That's a brick. And the Utes will take their time now.
Really the first bad play by Randolph. That's just you don't need that. You can get that shot anytime you want.
Bibbins. He's got it on the string. Look at him yo-yo, folks. Ayton trying to guard the little man. One-on-one in the corner. How about this? Collette. Across the lane. Block. Picked up. Loose. Arizona in the front court. Trier. puts it on the deck, tied up, taken away. And a timeout called by Utah.
Love the energy in this building right now. Both teams getting it in. Utah pushing the basketball, but Arizona, Randolph says no, thank you, sir. And at the other end, Trier making the great pass to Jackson Cartwright. And then Utah, we're veterans. We continue to play. We are not going anywhere. Wildcat. Really for me, Gus, 9 out of the Atlantic Coast Conference, man. 8 out of the Southeastern. Wow. Obviously, that stuff's going to probably, you're going to mix that up a little bit. There'll be a couple more teams in, a couple more teams out, but it gives you some inspiration. You know, to think, hey, maybe we're one of those 8 teams or 9 teams, and everybody's fighting for the same thing, right, Gus?
Yep. How about how Bruce Pearl has really turned things around down there at Auburn?
He's a terrific coach, man. Just because you go to places, you get fired, and then good coaches get other opportunities, and they make the most of them, and that's exactly what Bruce Pearl is doing. I guess he didn't like it in the TV booth that much. He got bored.
Here's Bearfield. Utes playing some great basketball right now. Bearfield with 11 points. Vivens, Collette, Rawson. The kick, Bearfield, step back 3. Collette with the offensive rebound and a new shot clock for the Utes.
Utah playing their game, 14-6 points in the paint for Utah.
Dealer, Vivens, quick release, and he's fouled. And the question is, was he fouled behind the 3-point line? Looks like Trier called for the foul as first.
Yeah, giving him 3. I mean, this is, I think, what happens with Arizona at times in games. A little lapse in judgment there. Trier's got to know he's a 3-point shooter. He can't foul a guy once he's up in the air. You almost have to do a run by, hope for a long rebound and a run out and get a layup. But that's just, it's just not smart basketball defensively. And I talked to Sean Miller yesterday, and he said, you know, that would really be the only thing that keeps us from getting to the Final Four deep into tournament play is our defense. If we can get guys on the same page and get them concentrating for an entire 40 minutes, they don't have to play perfect, but just concentrate defensively for 40 minutes, we'll be fine. There's been some lapses today, Gus.
Yes, Vivens 2 for 3 from the line. This is the closest Utah has been since the score was 4-0. Ayton hadn't been able to get touches as of late. Comes out the screen for Trier. Up 10 to shoot for Randall. Ristic a 3. He's got 9. The lead up to 6. 2:16 to play in the first half.
You got to live with it, right? He's 1 for 6 now from 3-point range. Ristic. You got to live with it if you're Utah.
Vivens up top. Trying to answer, no. And a reach-in foul coming up. Looks like that'll be on Justin Vivens.
Utah doing a little bit, falling asleep themselves. Look at that. 2 guys on the ball just can't happen. You got to have someone talking and get back. But again, he was 0 for 5 from 3 coming into this game. That's his first one. But you got to expect anything to happen when you're on the road.
14 foul against the Utes. Trier surveying. Ristic finds a soft spot. 15-footer goes down.
There's a lot of teams.
Well-designed play.
There are a lot of teams in the country, Gus, that have 2 bigs, 2 7-footers. I don't know if there's a better tandem as far as touch from 15 to 20 feet.
Dusan Ristic, 5 for 6 from the field in the first half. Bearfield. Bearfield on the baseline and a whistle. Big day so far for Cedric Bearfield.
He must like Arizona. 17 against ASU on Thursday. Doing well again here today, 11 points. having his way. Just movement without the basketball. You know, one thing is your teammates' ability to find you, but you also have to move without the ball. You stand still, you make it easy on the defense. They don't have to run after you.
Aycock called for the foul. His second. Bearfield, 12 points in the first half. Putting up numbers, this young man. Both free throws good. 39-33. Arizona has led by as many as 13. Utah has not led in this game. Aiden knocked out of his hands from behind by Collette.
It doesn't surprise me, Gus, the way this team is playing. The Utes, they got a veteran team. They start all upperclassmen. Scowiak throws in some youth, so they never get scared. They're never timid. Rusty to start the game, but they're in a good place right now. Just got to be smart with your hands defensively.
Bearfield called for the foul. Utah's 15th team foul, first on Bearfield. Baseline out of bounds. Now Van Dyke in. Bearfield will hit the bench for the final 57 seconds. He leaves with 13. Aiden, 16. Footer goes down.
Looks like Akeem Olajuwon to me.
He certainly does.
I can't even tell you this. He's so similar. The frame, the
looks
catch,
bigger though. Is
the
it
release. I don't know. He's his doppelganger, if you ask me. Body-wise, game-wise.
Ross in baseline. Collette shows it. Tried to shovel it. Trier takes it away on the roof to the hole, off the window, softly and in.
Hey, Arizona gets going downhill. So many weapons to score at the rim. None better on this team than Alonzo Trier.
Bivens to the bucket. That ball deflected. Randolph got a hand on it, and that's the end of the first half. Arizona with a 43-33 lead.
And look at this, turnovers. They hurt you, especially at the end of a half on the road. Alonzo Trier probing, takes a look at the clock. The little double dip with the left hand. Beautiful, terrific half of basketball, even better for Arizona.
All right, let's go to Jenny Taft.
Well, Coach, some success from three, but some costly turnovers for you. What do you want to adjust in the second?
You know, our turnovers hurt us. You know, they were unforced, 3 or 4 of them, and you get into conference play and start having unforced turnovers, it hurts you. But I thought our guys played with a lot of effort. The way Utah plays defense, they make you hold the ball and stand.
Yeah.
We have to move the ball and move, and that will be our best bet.
Were you surprised by that from them? From Utah?
No, they do a good job with the schemes that they have, both on offense and defense, and you know, they make you beat them. So we have to be ready to go here second half.
Thank you for the time. Good luck, Coach. Gus?
All right, Jenny, that's the end of the first half with the score. Arizona 43, Utah 33. We'll send you to Kevin Burkhardt and Casey Jacobson in Los Angeles right after this. And welcome back to Tucson, Arizona, where the number 11 Arizona Wildcats lead it by 10 as we head to the second half. Gus Johnson, Donnie Marshall. Arizona, last 2 games, Donnie, 33% shooting from the three-point line. Today, 7 of 9 from three-point land in the first half.
Well, that's really the difference for Arizona. You know, Utah did a great job defensively when they got into the zone, but if they couldn't get into that zone, the bigs of Arizona really were disruptive, especially early when you have a guy 7 feet tall and he is a specimen. He's knocking down jump shots. You got to say, okay, Who else can we stop? Well, it's got to be this guy. Well, you didn't do that either. Dusan Ristic knocking down shots from long range as well. Bigs were comfortable for Arizona in the first half.
And we take a look at the first half statistics. What's illuminating, Arizona 70% shooting in that first half. Now let's go to Jenny Tabb.
Well, speaking of that 70%, Gus, when I talked to Coach Kraskowiak, I said to him, hey, they're shooting 67. He said, no, they're shooting 70. This team does not miss. Right now, we need to make things harder for them. The good thing, hey, we only have 4 turnovers, okay, on the glass, but if they're not making mistakes, we need to make it harder on them because this is what we expect from Arizona.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. We start the second half. Wildcats with the basketball. Jackson Cartwright had a big scoring first half, 10 points. Ayton backing his man in, gets the ball to the rim, can't go in, and we'll stay right here. So we'll take a look at the leading scores in the first.
Yeah, Cedric Bearfield did a terrific job. 4 of 6. Obviously, Collette down low, taking his time. And Parker Jackson Cartwright, happy to see him get it going a little bit. Had some demons going on for a few games there. It looks like he's come out of it.
Jackson Cartwright on the baseline. Keeps his dribble alive. Finds Ayton for the 15-foot pull-up. No. Batted around. Ristic had a hand on it. And just can't hang on.
Have to give Utah a lot of credit, though. You know, on the glass, Gus, Arizona does have 15 rebounds. But they've done a good job of limiting to one and done, Utah. They're putting bodies on guys.
Justin Bibbins, Bearfield, Collette. They kick it out. Beeler, short. Trier the other way. Here's Trier trying to get inside, and a whistle. Looks like a foul will be called against Utah. And that's Bearfield's second.
It's a little too aggressive. You gotta hit, give some space, hit, give some space. You can't just ride a guy when he's trying to back you down.
Trier, stop and start, lost it, gets it back and banks it down.
The ref says the ball was bobbled a little bit. That's why Utah wanted to travel on that one. Trier stayed with it.
10 points for Alonzo Trier. Arizona takes a 45-33 lead. Bearfield turns a corner, slides. Ayton right with it, 9 to shoot. Now he gets a step on Ayton and a foul.
Take a look at Alonzo Trier here, staying with it. Thought he was going to get hit. And you know what? Really, that should have been a travel.
It looked like a travel to me.
No one hit the basketball. I think the official had a closed look, meaning there was a body between him and the play, because no one hit that ball. It was almost like Trier passed it to himself. Hey, refs are human too, though, Gus.
They can't see everything.
They can't see everything.
Collette. It's been a good battle right here between Ristic and Collette, and this time Collette gets the better of Ristic. 12 points now.
Something you don't hear a lot, David Collette using his speed to get past the guy. With all due respect, he usually backs you down and grinds you a little bit.
Smith. That one sails out of bounds.
And this is what I mean by the quickness. Didn't waste any time. He looks. 2 dribbles past him. Ristic standing straight up still.
Bearfield. Hard down the lane. Pushed off. Had it stripped by Trier. Scooped it back up. Shot clock doesn't reset at 15. Bibbins. Pull up 3. Ayton with his 6th rebound. Now he steps out on the baseline. Money.
Come on, man. Long range, mid-range.
Here's a kid that didn't start playing basketball until he was 13. He was a soccer player from the Bahamas. Also plays the trumpet. Mom lives in Phoenix now. Collette. And he said he loves going home to see his mom. She's got the jerk chicken, the curry goat, the rotis, festival, mommy.
Well, you're talking about cooking. He is cooking from long range, not doing much damage inside, but the jumper's so soft and rotation-wise looks great.
Ristic called for the foul, his second. 47-35. Bearfield, pull up off the bounce and hits. Tell you what, this guy right here has some game, Donnie Marshall.
I like when he handles the ball with a purpose, though. The play before he had it, he was fouled, but just a little bit too much pounding of the basketball. That play, he had some place to go.
15 points for Bearfield, the wraparound Ristic, left-hand jump hook with touch. He has 13. Bearfield exploding, gets there, lefty, off the window, softly ended.
It was all set up because he looked at the opposite side of the floor. The defense froze for a second and used his speed to get to the rim.
He's got 17 points. Jackson Cartwright, top of the arc. Ayton, Trier wants to get his shot going. In the corner, Smith, bingo.
So unselfish. 14 assists for the Wildcats today.
Great pace to this basketball game from the very beginning. Arizona started 6 for 6. Bibbins, and he's fouled. Jackson Cartwright raking at the ball. Picks up his third. Big time battle in the Pac-12. Arizona's the conference leader, but Utah, they've got their dukes up, folks, in the desert.
Welcome back. Arizona up by 13. I now have a special guest joining me now, the new head coach of Arizona football, Kevin Sumlin. Thank you so much for joining me. And first of all, welcome to your new home. This is exciting for you. You're making the move from the SEC to the Pac-12. What kind of adjustments do you make there?
Well, I'm not a special guest. Look at this place. The atmosphere here is unbelievable. Sean does a great job. It's excited to be here. It's the right time, the right place for me, and people at Tucson and University of Arizona have been great to me since I got here, and looking forward to it.
I'm already counting down the days to the college football season. What can we expect from Arizona this year?
Well, there's a lot of excitement. First of all, we got to have this kind of intensity and the electric atmosphere, and we got to do our job to keep it that way. We got a great leader coming back, and quarterback, and Khalil Mack, and playing a lot of young guys. So we'll get through spring ball. We'll figure it out.
All right, we're excited and happy for you. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Gus?
All right, thank you very much. Congratulations to Coach Sumlin. Had a chance to cover him when he was at Texas A&M. He had a kid when I covered him back then that turned out to be a really good college player by the name of Johnny Manziel, something like that. Manziel, something like that. Ended up winning the Heisman Trophy.
A very colorful player.
Tillman and the Detroit native knocks down the baseline jump shot. 52-41.
I think the most important thing for Utah right now with 15-20 to play is pace. How can you control it? How can you slow it down at both ends of the floor? One way is to get yourself into your offense early. And talked earlier about Tillman. I like the little half jumper, half floater there. If you get it off quick enough, but you can see they're running plays for guys who they have confidence in.
Trier, the inbounder, Ayton, Smith. Trier. That's a tough move there. That's a big time move. That's a professional move.
Get you on your heels. There's no way to stop when he pulls up.
Has 12 points. 54-41. Tillman. Bearfield breaks to the ball with 12 on the shot clock. Johnson sets the screen. Bearfield blocked by Ristic and fouled.
There's really good defense, and that's what you hate if you're a coach. 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. That's just a good sell by Bearfield. It's a big up in the air. You get a little bit of bump. Got to be honest, though. Officials could call that every single time down. There's always contact.
Bearfield at the line. He's got 18 points already. And Keanu Pinder, the Australian, returns. He picked up 2 fouls early in the first half. Had to go to the bench. Ristich will take a blow.
You know, Gus, Bearfield has set the tone early with his scoring, so it really does pull the officials into his game, saying, look, I'm going to play physical. I'm trying to get to the basket, and it allows him to have the advantage with the refs when he goes hard to the basket.
Trier trying to create. Backs up on the smaller Bivens, holds him off with the offhand, and hits the jump shot.
Trier just big boyed it.
Yes, he did.
That's not fair.
Yes, it is.
Knocked him down, laid it up. That's a score, though. That's what a professional scorer does.
56-43. Arizona looking good in this second half. Bivens all the way hard to the bucket. Knocked out of his hands by Trier.
Trier on the offensive end. He knew exactly what he wanted, even with guys in his way. Right here, big boy. Okay, little floater. But at the defensive end is what I think Trier needs to do to develop, especially for that next level. And before that, to get his team to deep in tournament play. Got to defend.
Johnson looks like he was fouled, but somehow muscles it in for his first basket of the game.
Yeah, but some players play like that. Even when they don't get hit, they play so rough that it looks like they're getting fouled even when they're not.
Ayton, baseline, he has it all. They can't get him the ball down low, so he's stepping out, knocking down jump shots.
It doesn't matter.
58-45, back to Tucson right after this. 58-45, Arizona leading Utah. Sean Miller, well, he's always had a basketball in his hand. In fact, as a young boy, he and his father would go around the country as Sean performed ball handling tricks. Sean Miller became the ultimate point guard playing at Pitt. He's been in the spotlight since he was a wee lad, as they say. One thing always remains the same, that intensity in his eyes. Both he and his brother have that serious intensity.
That's a bad teaching video, though, Gus.
Why is that?
Because he's looking at the ball. You're not supposed to look at the ball when you're dribbling,
He
man.
had 12 balls
I don't care, man.
in the air.
Looking at the ball.
Talk about having some balls in the air. Brother Archie, head coach at Indiana. Father Jack, they just named the court after him at Blackhawk High School. I mean, excuse me, John at Blackhawk High School. Dad John Miller. 13:30 to go. 58-45. They kick it out. Tillman. Oh my goodness. Dr. Detroit.
Told you to like him. They mentioned his name a lot in shoot around. Coach K was all over him. Knows he's going to be a good one.
And they've had some good ones in the past. Take another look at this one.
Look at the response, though. Look at the eyes. Woo, they got big. Don't jump. And then just runs back. Love that sound.
So many great basketball players have played at Utah. I remember covering Coach Majerus' teams. Van Horn. Andre Miller. Michael Doliak.
And the most recent one who's having a great NBA career.
Oh, Kyle Kuzma with the Lakers.
You talk to the coaches, they didn't see that one coming. His own college coaches.
I don't think the Lakers saw that one coming.
Agreed. Got a steal.
For now, a steal.
That's right. That's right.
Inside, Johnson keeps it up high, and a blocking foul. Thought that was a good call by the baseline official, Bob Staffen.
I think the problem is you can't be jumping in the air to a spot while the player's in the air. You know what I'm saying, Gus? You almost have to be there waiting. If you're jumping the same time he's jumping to catch, tie goes to the runner. In that case, that's the guy who catches the ball.
We've got some people that know about baseball at this game today, folks. We're going to show them to you later. Inside, Tillman uses his body and banks it in.
Oh, it's going to be so special. We saw him outside. Mid-range jump shot from the baseline.
He's a freshman.
The dunk there, over the left shoulder, soft off the glass.
Randolph hands it off to Trier. Double team inside, tracked down on the baseline, but Keanu Pinder couldn't save it. 8th turnover for Sean Miller's Wildcats. Terry Francona, manager of the Cleveland Indians since 2013, two-time AL Manager of the Year, two-time World Series champ, as the manager of the Red Sox, played here at Arizona, MVP of the College World Series with the Cats in 1980, 10-year pro, loves his Cats. Those are his seats, and he's sitting in them.
Love Tito. Told him I'm not a big baseball guy, but I'm a big person guy, and he is such a great person.
Trier with the rebound off the Bibbins miss. He'll slide into the front court and be called for an offensive foul, pushing off.
Bearfield knows how to sell it, doesn't he, Gus? He's got his SAG card.
The officials, he better be careful. Scott Brown will tee him up. But right now, Utah trying to get back in this game. Down 58-49.
Welcome back here in Tucson. Arizona up, but before that last timeout, the Arizona fans were upset. Coaches, players. Alonzo Trier called for an offensive foul. Just take a look. Bearfield sells it, and Sean Miller disagreed emphatically.
Trier didn't like it either. Scott Brown, the official, says he pushed off. But I think Bearfield did give his best Reggie Miller impersonation.
Well,
that play should just be called up. Anytime you see somebody flop, just call it a Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller, I love him, by the way. Former colleague of mine.
Maybe he has his SAG card.
58-49. Tillman again working the baseline, wraps it around for Johnson. Extra move, rejected. Ayton, not in my house.
Gus, sometimes when it says road closed, you got to go the other way. You can't keep trying to drive down that road.
Second block shot for Ayton. Tillman the inbounder. And stolen by Ayton.
The decision-making, though, to not throw that ball up or try to dribble it.
Emmanuel Acott in the game. Rustich, bumping, grinding, dipping, fading. And saved from going out of bounds by Tillman. Utah starting to find themselves a bit now in the second half. Similar to what happened in the first half. They were down by as many as 13. Inside. Rawson gets it back to Bearfield as the shot clock winds down. Bearfield not a fan favorite. Inside, nice move and jam by Johnson as Bearfield keeps the big fella's hands full. He has 6-0 run for the Utes.
Heads up play. You draw a couple, someone's got to be open.
Rustich. The equalizer. 16 points. Ten-point lead again. Tillman Blocked from behind. Nicely done by Akot. He'll bring it up the floor. Baseline. Trier. And an offensive foul on Trier, his third.
Terrific play without fouling. Tillman's been the go-to guy for Utah the last couple of dimes down, and this is just a great job by Bearfield of drawing a couple. 1, 2, that means your big is going to be open if he slips to the rim. Oh, the game is really that easy. We make it so hard sometimes as players.
Bibbins popping out in the corner. Johnson posting up. Ristic. Loose. Ristic hits the deck. Save. Payton. Jackson Cartwright. And a foul underneath.
Knows how to keep you on your heels. Jackson Cartwright, you're scuffling, trying to get back, and he gets a little bit lower. Nothing to do but foul him.
Senior has such a tremendous burst. How about that jacket Coach Krystoliak has on today?
I still think he should have complemented it with maybe some Bordeaux pants, a little, dark red. I love the jacket.
Kind of like some Guy Rogers apparel, former Houston legendary coach.
But a deep red, deep red.
8, baseline, facing. Again, this kid is unbelievable.
He is the real deal. Gus, remember last game, 12 of 12 from the foul line. Not a good shooting night. And again, showing just how diverse his game is today.
Bearfield sets for 3. Good. Bearfield talking to people in the crowd. He's keeping them in it. He has 22. Jackson Cartwright answers on the other end. Starting to get warm in the desert now, folks. And this is how we like it. 65-54. Guys knocking down shots, playing at a high level. And a foul. Jackson Cartwright, and if that's him, I believe it's his 4th. Yes, it is. We'll have to sit at the 8:38 mark.
This is the part of the game that you just don't want the Stripes to start to get too involved. The officials I'm talking about, Gus. 8:38 to play. It's been a back and forth, really good competitive game by both teams. Let's let the kids decide this outcome. That's all I'm saying. Let's just guard against it. You don't have to swallow the whistles, but let these guys play some basketball.
Bibbins makes the first. Let's take a look at the foul trouble. Bibbins with 3. Parker with 4.
And 3 very important players on that side for Arizona in that foul situation.
Both free throws good. Now Trier has to move over to the point. Akot. Ristic. Randolph. 8. Zone now for Utah. Causes Arizona some trouble in the first half. Baseline. That one rims off. Tillman with a rebound. Dylan Smith, excuse me. Number 3 in for Arizona. Bearfield. The kick. Bibbins tripped. And he'll go to the line again. And that's the 4th foul on Trier. So now the backcourt of Trier and Jackson Cartwright both with 4 fouls.
Well, this is the scouting report on Utah. They grind you down. This is a trip. Now, the fans wanted to travel before the trip, but that's a good call. And Sean Miller, now he starts to feel not having Raleigh Hawkins. You got 2 guards you got to go back and forth between to play that point.
Hawkins out again with that foot injury. Bibbins earning his lunch money from the free throw line.
There he is, and That's their toughness. That's another ball handler, another shooter. Kid out of Brooklyn, New York.
8 minutes of play. 7 points for Bibbins. 65-58. They cut and foul. 65-58, Arizona heading to the line. Back to Tucson in a moment. Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by AT&T. 7:46 to play. Second half, Arizona, one of the hottest teams in America. Winners of 5 in a row. 14 of their last 15. On top of Utah, 65-58 as we take a look at the game reset. Foul trouble first. Parker Jackson Cartwright with 4. Alonzo Trier with 4. And there's your game reset. Sean Miller's team, as we mentioned, playing very well. Remember, though, go back to the beginning of the season. They lost 3 times in 3 days as the nation's #2 team at the Battle for Atlantis during the Thanksgiving week. Their first 3-game drought since February of 2010. And Miller had some questions, not about his guys, but about his coaching, saying at that time he was unable to connect with his players.
And that happens early in the season in those tournaments. You don't get a lot of time to practice. You got one of your focal points as a freshman, and they've developed, though. Since November 29th, they're 14-1. I think they bounced back pretty good.
Bearfield drives. And an offensive foul called on Bearfield on the handoff, and that's his 3rd.
We'll see if there was enough. Yeah, I like that. Not a screen. You can't screen with your shoulder.
Inside, knocked away. Ayton takes it back. The kick. Jackson Cartwright. Way short. Bearfield. Head up. Tillman on his right side.
Numbers. Oh, he had numbers, Gus.
Rawson. Secondary break. Knocks down a J.
I guess that's what you call it.
7-0 run for the Utes.
That's glass half full, I guess.
Always. Lead down to 4. And it's taken away by Collette. Arizona unraveling a bit as we approach the 6:30 mark. Some nervous energy in this crowd. Collette on the wheel, no. Ayton with great hands. And a foul called against the Utes. Looks like Bibbins, his 4th.
Too much with the whistles for me, Gus. 50-50 balls. Let these guys dive on the floor for loose balls and see who comes up with it. There's contact every time down the floor. But this is a good spot if you're Arizona. This is only their 7th free throw of the game. Utah on the other side, they got 19, and they're 16 of 19. Really what's kept them in the game. That and points off the bench, 33-5 when you compare benches in favor of Utah.
And Acott still having some problems at the line. He's 0 for 3 today. 65-61, Bearfield. He's been the straw that stirred the drink for the Utes with 22 points. Van Dyke, money. Uh-oh. 10-0 run. Arizona's got trouble. Utah, they just beat Arizona State. And right now, they're only down by a penny. 65-64.
Love your dress. I got it on sale for $200, but it's more like $415 since I haven't paid off that credit card yet.
That dinner was insane.
Not as insane as us spending another $173 on it this year.
New laptop? Nice.
Thanks. And with credit card interest, I'll spend an extra $1,900 on it.
No one wants to pay more for, well, anything. With a SoFi personal loan, you can lower your interest rates and pay off debt sooner. Find out more at SoFi.com.
65-64. 11th ranked Arizona with the lead. As we take a look at the game reset, Utes with 2 timeouts. Wildcats with only 1. The arrow favors the Utes. Let's take a look at the Pac-12 standings. Utah trying to sweep Arizona and Arizona State on the road. Arizona top of the charts at 7-1 in conference play.
I think you got a couple of really good teams that are at the bottom of the pack there. Arizona State, Colorado. So a lot's going to happen in the Pac-12 when you talk about the standings. A lot of jumbling. If I'm Utah, I'm saying you got to attack Jackson Cartwright. You have to attack Alonzo Trier, because one more, they're sitting down.
Arizona's only conference loss to Colorado. 6:03 to play. Now the chess match gets interesting. Let's go to Jen Taft.
And Chris Kobiak did mention both those guys, so I just want to keep in mind the fight and the energy from that Utah huddle. They are fired up. They said, we are here to play. This is not over yet.
Randolph, Trier, Jackson Cartwright. Here's Trier. High bounce, picked up Collette.
Great job gang rebounding by the Utes. They find Ayton, put 2 bodies on him, go get the ball.
Utah looking for their first lead of the game. Bare field, in and out, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line. 4th foul on the big man, Ristich. 10 team fouls against Arizona. So Barefield will go to the line shooting 2.
Something Sean Miller said a couple of timeouts ago to his players was, listen, don't get caught up in what the crowd is doing and how they're complaining to the officials. Just play basketball. And such a great point. You need to keep your guys calm. Don't blame everything on the refs. Take a little bit of accountability. Stand the guy up. Move the ball.
Utah looking for their first lead of the game. And they have it. Barefield with 24. He's a 91% free throw shooter. 66-65. Utes have trailed by as many as 13. 11-0 run for Utah. Trier. Weaving, fading, and hitting.
So balanced. Even when he fades away, he's square. His team flattens out for him to go to work in that paint.
Trier with 16. They rise to their feet. At McHale. Barefield. Rawson. Tillman. Left hand, no. Collette there for the follow. Collette has been a great player for this Utah team today. 14 points and 5 rebounds. He's done a lot of little things extremely well.
Such a nice little team. They never go away. They know who they are.
Ayton draws a double. Quick turn, offensive foul.
Alonzo Trier working that middle of the floor, creating a little extra space on the fall away. And Collette, the veteran, always pursuing the ball. This is attention to detail, Utah's defense. My namesake, Donnie Tillman, there to help a teammate out, takes the charge.
Everybody standing now in the lower bowl here in Tucson, Arizona. The number 11 team in the nation. Arizona in a dogfight. Rawson. 15-footer. Barefield, no. Trier. And a trip called against the Utes. But the score 68-67, 3:44 to go. The running Utes. They've got Arizona on the ropes.
Coming up after Utah and Arizona, Fox College Hoops Extra. Big time stuff in the Carolinas. North Carolina and Duke both go down at home. Who's the #1 team in the country?
They're not up here. It might be Purdue.
Oh, boy. Let's go back to Gus and Donnie. Good one in Tucson. Fellas.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. 68-67. Utes on top of the Wildcats as we take a look at the game reset. Utes with 2 timeouts. Arizona with 1. 18 fouls against Utah, 10 against Arizona. Possession arrow favoring Utah as we take a look at the foul trouble. Bivens with 4. Parker Jackson, Cartwright, Alonzo Trier, and Ristich with 4. What a confidence builder it would be if Larry Kristoiak's Utes can get out of the state of Arizona with back-to-back wins on the road.
Well, they're making a really good push for it right now. I just think the second half, it shows how much goes into scouting and understanding who guys are. Defensively, rebounding-wise, I mean, Utah is being stingy on the glass, and it's showing up, and it's getting confidence.
Arizona's missing free throws. They're 4 of 8. They average 22 free throws a game. 0 for 4 from the line this half. Barefield, 10 to shoot. He's been great in these situations.
Gotta attack.
Shaking. Bivens, straightaway 3. Collette had a hand on it, took his eyes off of it. The ball knocked out of play. And Utah will get it again.
Well, it was either that or a foul on Jackson Cartwright.
And that would have been his 5th.
I think they'll take the possession to Utah.
Collette. He's made some big plays underneath on Ristich. He's used his quickness. He can put it on the deck a couple of times. Barefield, their leading scorer, with 24. Inside, Ristich, extra. Excuse me, Collette. Ristich blocked it. Collette wanted a foul.
And Gus, what happens with all the late foul calls, a lot of players now starting to assume, and they're not finishing plays. They're looking for that whistle. You got to keep playing, especially with 3 minutes to go.
1-point game. 2:40 remaining. Pac-12 special. Jackson Cartwright thinking about it. Lobs it. Ristich. Triple team. Almost traveled, got away with it, and knocked it down. 18 points. Arizona back on top.
Go back to what got you started in this game. That's inside, your bread and butter.
Barefield. Ten to shoot. Tillman, the freshman from Detroit, 7 to shoot. Up top, Barefield, 4 to shoot. Lets it go. Well defended by Arizona.
Best defensive stance of the game, hands down by Arizona.
And the chant U of A, cascading. Ristich up top. Bang! 72-68, 1:30 to go. Ristich with a career high, 21.
And when you're getting challenged, you need other guys to step up, and Ristich hand up. Nothing you can do about that. And this is exactly what Sean Miller, no, okay. He still doesn't like it. Kristoiak's like, they're making shots all day long. That doesn't surprise me.
But this man was happy about it because he took it and hit it.
I got to give it to Sean Miller, though. He doesn't want his big settling for three-pointers, but sometimes, Gus, you got to ride them.
(72-68). Dusan Ristic with a career-high 21 points. 9 for 11 today. He's hit 3 threes on 3 attempts. So what is Coach Krystoyak setting up right now?
You got a minute 29. You want something going towards the basket, a little bit too much east to west, if you will, the last 3 or 4 plays down for Utah. Now they're settling for late shot clock, really Hail Marys. You got to get something going to the basket. Remember, Jackson Cartwright, Trier in foul trouble. Continue to get them on their heels, and that guy you just saw right there, David Collette, find a way to get him a touch. I don't care if he's scoring or he's making the delivery. Can't waste a lot of time, though, Gus.
1:29 to go, 72-68. One possession game. Bearfield double teamed up top. Ristic hedged. Bearfield down the lane.
What you call north to south.
26 today for Cedric Bearfield. And Utah, it allows him to set up that zone.
They haven't been able to do that a lot this half either.
Ayton dumps it down, wrist edge, blocked by Collette and fouled by Collette.
But if you're DeAndre Ayton, listen, young fella, you're going to be a multi-millionaire in a couple of months. You got to score the basketball. You're a pro, man. Look how deep he gets. You're not a passer. They got bailed out with the foul, but you got to score, man. They need you to score.
Ristic at the line. First attempt today. He's a 78% free throw shooter. This kid's been money.
What a luxury to have bigs that can make free throws.
Senior. Serbian. 22. He had 11 at halftime. And he gets both. 74-70. A minute to go.
Gotta hurry.
Bearfield. Quick trigger he's got. Tillman on the baseline in the corner. That one's short. Loose. Picked up. Rawson just couldn't find the range.
That was Ayton running him down in the corner, too, to affect that shot.
Arizona with a 4-point lead and the ball. They'll take their time. 9 to shoot. Trier. 5 to shoot. Trier. Lost it. Bearfield scoops it up. 17 seconds remaining. Bearfield straight to the basket. No call. Loose. Rawson. Collette grabs it, calls a timeout with 9 seconds to play.
You gotta love it. They feel it, the kids. First one to the floor. Guys diving all over the place, and David Collette, the veteran, heads up play, call the timeout once you secure the ball. This is what you gotta love most about college basketball. One guy on the floor there, here. 1, 2, 3 more on the floor, and Collette dives for it, calls a timeout. Boy, that's college basketball at its best. Sean Miller wasn't happy about his big man making a 3, so.
Krystoyak wasn't happy that Bearfield didn't get a foul called on Arizona.
It's just that time of year, Gus. We're headed into February. Teams are starting to get a little bit more serious about how they finish heading into conference tournament play, and every possession is so very important.
Utah out of timeouts. Arizona up by 4. Utes with the basketball. What's the strategy here with 9 seconds to go?
As quick as you can go, whether it's a quick 2 or a 3 open, the first available. I say first and best available.
And for Arizona, you can't foul. Collette shovels it back. And Bibbins hits the 3 with 4.3 to go. 1-point game. An offensive foul. Unbelievable. And Trier's fouled out. Utah getting back with 4.3 to go.
Trier trying to get open. Bibbins just bodying him up. You can't shove a guy. Official right on top of it, but before that, the scramble for Utah. Patience, the kick, who's there, Collette, to knock it, to tap it to Bibbins, and the veterans trying to pull this win out for Utah.
Utah, no timeouts left. Down by 1 with the ball in the front court.
Keep the pressure on the officials. Put your head down. Get to the basket, but finish strong. Don't assume you're going to get fouled. It's got to be going towards the basket.
Bearfield, they're going to probably give it to him. Watch Collette slipping to the basket. And now Sean Miller calls his final timeout, as he had a chance to watch Utah set up for what could be the final play of the game.
These coaches have 15 different plays for out of bounds under, and all Krzyzkowiak is saying, all right, we'll run this. They saw a setup for that one. We got plenty more in the bag of tricks.
Arizona, they're 11-0 at McKale, 78-2 here since the start of 2013. Now remember what Cedric Bearfield did the other night. He hit the game-tying 3 with 1.8 seconds left in regulation. He didn't hear Coach Krzyzkowiak scream for a timeout. He's had an amazing game.
All 17 in the second half of that game as well, so he knows how to finish games off.
The SMU transfer. So Utah will inbound it on the baseline. Tyler Rawson. 4.3 to go. Rawson inside. Tillman up. No! Rebounded Arizona with 0.3 of a second to go.
They got what they wanted, point blank. Really good defense, hands straight up. The freshman expected some contact. Take another look down low, maybe some body. I do not believe the officials are going to call a foul unless it is obvious in that situation. You have to go up strong.
Right now, Coach Krzyzkowiak getting into some conversation with some fans.
Now, in those situations, though, Gus, you got to almost gather yourself. I thought the freshman was he hurried a little bit. You catch it, maybe a power dribble, and go straight up and into the basket. This is when coaches say, drive it into the guy's chin, meaning you don't want to hurt anyone, but you want to gather, be strong. You get pushed under. Listen, this is not high school basketball anymore. These guys are strong. They know how to use their bodies. It's a tough spot to be in for a young fella at the end of a game on the road in a place that's only given up 2 in the last 5 years.
So the officials are at the monitor at the scorer's table, I believe, trying to determine how much time to put on the clock. Dick Cartmel, Bob Staffen, Scott Brown. 0.3 remaining.
Krzyzkowiak tried to eke a couple more seconds back onto that clock, but they're not adding any.
Keanu Pinder shooting 2.
I would even try to miss this shot.
Excuse me, 1-1.
Make it a jump ball, Gus. .3, you don't need to make it.
He didn't. Length of the floor, and that's it.
No time.
So Sean Miller and the number 11 Wildcats survive 74-73. Turned out to be a great one, and he got a career-high performance from Dusan Ristic, his senior. 23 points, 7 rebounds. He was 3 for 3 from downtown. 74-73, the final. Arizona improves to 18-4. 8-1 in the Pac-12. For Donnie Marshall and Jenny Tabb, this is Gus Johnson saying so long. We'll send you to Kevin Burkhardt in LA right after this.